Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm going to be doing a review on Abigail. So Abigail is the latest horror flick to come out this year, and is directed by Radio Silence, aka Bettinelli, Olpin, and Tyler Gillett. This is their third film overall after Ready or Not, Scream 5 and Scream 6, and it stars Alicia Ware, Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens, Catherine Newton, Angus Cloud, William Catlett, Kevin Durand, and Giancarlo Esposito. So the film tells the story of a group of criminals who kidnap this 12-year-old girl named Abigail, who is a ballerina dancer and a daughter of a powerful, wealthy man who is about to lose money. And apparently, the guy who they work for, played by Giancarlo Esposito, wants their money, wants the money of Abigail's father. And so, yeah, these criminals are hired to watch over Abigail. They lock her, they isolate her in this mansion until the father is able to give his money to Giancarlo Esposito's character. His name is Lambert, by the way. And yeah, so they all these criminals start to bond with each other. They start to learn more about each other. Yeah, but then they discover that that the mansion is actually being haunted. Yeah, when they dive deep into this into the whole mansion, they start to see some sorry about that, man. They start to see some scary things in the mansion, like, and also some brutally dead bodies, and then it all leads to the truth. Abigail is actually a vampire disguised as an innocent little girl, but she still looks like an innocent little, not innocent, but she looks like a little girl as a vampire, and so and she chases off against these criminals, and so yeah, they must find out the truth and what's going on, and why did they have to watch over a vampire girl? Yeah, and all leads to a series of plot twists. So yeah, now, yeah, if you guys have seen my Instagram, or you see me probably seen a community post about it, yes. Yesterday I did the first double feature I've ever done. This is something I haven't done before. I didn't even get to do this with Oppenheimer and Barbie last year, the most famous double feature event. Although that is because I didn't really have enough time to do both of them, because I would have been late and all that stuff. But yeah, I didn't want to stay out like so late. But so yeah, I decided to just watch one of them this day and the other the next day. So yeah, but I did it this year with today. I did it yesterday with the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare and Abigail. Now, as you can see in the title, yes, I mean, even though I did say I was going to do both these double reviews, I decided I will only review Abigail because, I mean, I don't really have much to say about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Maybe I'll review it in my community post, or maybe you can just check out my Letterboxd review. But if you want to hear my brief thoughts on the film, you can even check out my out of theater reaction for it. That technically serves as my review, sorta. I thought I was gonna review, but actually just thinking about it, I decided, maybe Abigail's the one that deserves an info review on Ministry. Yeah. Even though Ministry is a great movie, you guys should go check it out. But yeah, now on to Abigail. Now, yes, guys, I am a huge, massive Radio Silence fan. So even though I didn't get to say this like last year when Scream 6 came out, I didn't get the opportunity to say it, and I think you guys would have probably guessed it. Radio Silence is my favorite horror directors. Yeah, Matt and Tyler, they are my favorite horror directors ever. They both know how to make horror. They know how to make horror movies so well, and they can do no wrong. I rewatched Ready or Not back when I, like, a few days ago in preparation for this one, and I still think it's a great movie. And although it's probably the one radio science movie I would say is has its flaws, it's not perfect, but and it is their weakest film, unpopular opinion. But ready or not, it's still a great film, and it shows what these guys are capable of. And then came Scream 5 and 6, which are some of my favorite movies of all time, and they're both my favorite horror movies. Scream 6 in particular would be my favorite horror movie, but Scream 5 is a close second. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, going to this, one thing I knew about Abigail, it was not going to top Scream 5 and 6 because those movies, they really set the bar high, not just for the radio silence's career, but for the genre in general. Yeah, but so I was definitely hyped up for Abigail. This was my most anticipated horror movie of this entire year. Yes, even over A Quiet Place Day One, over Nosferatu, over Alien Romulus. Even though I did make a poll saying that Alien Romulus was my most anticipated, well, I took that back eventually because this one became my most anticipated. But yeah, so I saw Abigail yesterday. Yeah, I did, and what do I think of Abigail? This movie is fucking awesome. I love this movie. This movie is a freaking masterpiece. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna say it. This is now top Civil War as my favorite movie of April 2024. And this is my second favorite movie of the year so far. Second only behind the Dune Part, of course, well, Dune Part 2. I mean, it was obvious that I top Dune Part 2, but I did not think that Civil War would I didn't expect this to top Civil War. Yeah. I knew I was gonna love this movie, let's be real here. I mean, it's a radio science movie with Melissa Barrera. Of course I was gonna love this one. But even though I was highly anticipating this movie, it still felt like a surprise to me. Yeah. It still felt like a surprise to me. Yeah, that it ended up this good. The bar was raised so high with this one for some reason. Yeah. And this is also hands down the greatest vampire movie ever made. Period. Yeah. Yeah, like the greatest movie. Yeah. Yes. This movie puts the Hotel Transylvania franchise or any of the other vampire movies to absolute shame. Yeah, seriously, screw Hotel Transylvania. This is the vampire movie we all need. So yeah, before I get into my reasons as to why I love this movie, I just want to give a shout out to one of my best friends and one of my favorite YouTubers, Gwenda Cat. Yeah, Gwenda Cat is the biggest Catherine Newton fan ever. Yes, and of course she was hyping up this film because of Catherine Newton, and this is his. He was wait. Did I say she? Sorry if I accidentally said the wrong gender, but it's a he. Yeah, This is his favorite horror movie of all time, and yeah, I can see why. And to me personally, this would certainly be in my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. Well, I'm still deciding on which spot this is going to be, but this is definitely right up there with like the Scream films and a few others. Maybe number 3, but maybe my third favorite horror movie. But again, I'll have to think about it. Depends on I'll have to think about where this stands in comparison to the best horror movies. But it's right up there. Okay, so let's get into the reasons. So on the surface level, this is a bloody good time. This is a fun movie, but it's actually more than just a bloody good time, and it's more than just a movie about vampire chasing criminals. Matt Tyler's way of crafting horror is my type of horror, that's why I consider them to be the best horror directors. Yes, this isn't as good as this is not my favorite radio science film. You already knew that because they made Scream 5 and 6. Let's not forget. I will say, out of all the radio science movies, this is the scariest one. Seriously. I mean, I'm not someone who would be scared. I'm not usually scared of Dracula or any vampires, but Abigail might just be an exception. Yeah, she's a child. She's apparently the daughter of Dracula. Well, it's not spoiler, by the way, because it was kind of like leaked at first, like when like you know back then when Radio Silence announced that they were going to make a new horror movie, and there was it was like untitled yet. We didn't know anything. It was leaked that this untitled Radio Silence project would be about Dracula's daughter. So this one is actually not surprised. So I don't think you guys should be surprised that Abigail is Dracula's daughter. But seriously, Abigail is the scariest vampire, and she is like the most powerful vampire. So I've never seen a vampire like this. Like this, I mean, she genuinely like scared me. Even like from that scene, what that reveal scene when she transforms into Abigail, and then she just like gives out this loud roar. Yeah, oh my god, I was so terrified. I think it was the speakers in the theater that really enhanced the scares. And yes, man, yeah, Abigail just really. I mean, well, yeah, as a horror movie, it's not that scary. I know Radio Silence isn't really the type of. Yeah, Radio Silence is not the type of. How do I say this? Radio Silence is not the type of directors to make scary movies like with full of jump scares and all that stuff. They just want them to. They make the horror movies for fun with great twists. Like they're kind of like M Night Shyamalan 2.0 in some ways, but definitely way better than M Night Shyamalan because unlike M Night, they're actually very consistent with their movies. Yeah, and yeah, those chase scenes, man, they're just so much fun. Yeah, the scenes with Abigail chasing the criminals, man, that it is just epic as hell. And this movie is also freaking bloody as well. Yeah, there's like so. Yeah, this is one of the goriest movies I've seen in the theater. This is even gorier than Scream 6, I gotta say. Yeah, so much blood in this. Yeah, especially when it comes to well, you know what? I won't say that because I was actually about to spoil something, but I'll say a lot of bloody stuff in this world. Yeah, like seriously, there was a scene in the film where Abigail's hand gets cut off, and then you gets your no. There's a scene in the film where Abigail's hand gets burned from the sun from daylight, and then you see her like screaming in pain and she like and you can see like it was so painfully bloody, like oh my god, yeah. But I think to put a cherry on top on what makes Abigail scary is Alicia Ware's performance. Yeah, I praised her in my review of Matilda the musical, but yeah, her performance in this one, like she takes child performances to the next level. Yeah, she might be one of my absolute favorite child performances ever. Yeah, like in any movie, in a horror movie, I think this is my favorite child performance. Yeah, it's just so good, man. She's just so good. Although child performance in general, I think she's right up there with right up there with the actually, well, I still think that Mackenzie Foy in Interstellar gave my favorite child performance of any film, but Alicia Ware's Abigail is certainly right up there. And seeing her in both this and Matilda the musical, I honestly think that Alicia Ware is on par with McKenna. I honestly, I gotta say this. Out of all the child actresses today, I would say she and McKenna Grace are tied as my favorite child actress. Oh well, maybe unless you count Millie Bobby Brown as a child actress. But to me personally, I don't consider Millie Bobby Brown as a child actress because she feels like she's grown up and she's even married. So. Yeah, both Alicia Ware, McKenna Grace. Oh, well, actually, yeah. You know what? Thinking about it, yeah, I still think McKenna Grace is my favorite child actress. Yeah, because like she was in more movies, like she feels like a rising star. But Alicia Ware is right up there as well. But it's not just Alicia Ware that gave the best performance. She's not even my favorite. Yeah. I'd say she's my third favorite, and Abigail's my third favorite character in the movie. My favorite character, yeah, like the true standout of Abigail would have to be Melissa Barrera as Joey. Yeah, Joey is hands down my favorite character in the film, and Melissa Barrera. I mean, when you have Melissa Barrera in a radio science movie, you know what the outcome is, and Melissa Barrera continues to show that she is the greatest. She is the greatest scream queen ever. Yeah, I'm very glad that people are loving her, and they see her as this as the new fan favorite scream queen like that, because it deserves it. And I think she might be my favorite scream queen in general. Even though, yeah, yes, in the Scream movies, she's overshadowed by Tara because of Jenna Ortega. But this time around, yeah, Joey gets to be the standout here. Melissa Barrera actually gets to be the standout because standout this time around, and she is certainly one of my favorite actresses of all time. Yeah, period. Yeah, I would say Sam Carpenter is still my favorite Melissa Barrera performance, but this is a close second for me. For me, yeah, and I gotta say, yeah, she is better than she's better. She puts the classic scream queens, horror queens to shame. I'm talking about Jamie Lee Curtis, Nev Campbell, etc. You know, those guys, people. Yeah, Melissa Barrera puts them to shame. Yeah, and shame. And yeah, also Catherine Newton as well. Of course, I love Catherine Newton. I would even say that this is my second favorite Catherine Newton performance. Second only to, of course, Cassie Lang. And honestly, I would say this honestly, this might be my favorite movie that stars Catherine Newton. Even though I prefer Cassie Lang when it comes to Catherine Newton's performance, as a movie with Catherine Newton in it, I'd say this is better than. Sorry about that. Yeah, but okay. Back to what I was saying. Out of all the movies that Catherine Newton was starred in, even though Cassie Lang is her best performance, I would say that this is the best that she starred in. As a movie, it's even better than Quantum Mania. Yeah, in my opinion. Oh, and Dan Stevens is another one of my favorites. Yeah, you probably know that I'm not a fan of Dan Stevens. I still think Chopper from Godzilla X Kong is a vastly overrated character. And don't get me started on oh god, Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, hands down, Dan Stevens is the worst performance ever. But here, Dan Stevens actually gave an impressive performance for once, and yeah. I won't give away details because the only thing I won't give away details in Dan Stevens' performance and the character in general because I'll just say there's some spoiler territory with this character here. You just have to see it for yourself. And yeah, another thing I love about this movie is the slow build up to the big horror moments. Personally, I love it when horror movies do that because, you know, I don't want horror movies to be like too quick on to be too quick on just already elevating the scares. I like these slow build-ups because it really gives you time to at least anticipate the horror stuff in it to just wait to just build upon the anticipation that, oh no, scares are coming. But first I just want to take a breather first. At least just take a breather, and then later on you get to the scares. Yeah, I like how this movie did it. And yeah, I know sometimes it can be poorly executed because, you know, it could end up unengaging and boring, the build-up. But in this one, not in the slightest bit. Because, like, what really makes this slow build-up work is how invested I was with these characters. With these characters, yeah. I know it already starts off with this terrifying scene of the criminals kidnapping the girl and putting and then drugging her with injections and all this stuff. But I mean, the way that they did it's in a terrifying way. Not as terrifying as the trailers made out to be, because I remember the trailers. Yeah, like they made the kidnapping of Abigail look very terrifying, like a jump scare. But this one, it's a bit scary, but it's done in a terrifying way, but not as terrifying as the trailer. As a trailer. And also we got some character build up like to it as well. We got some character development. We got to learn about these characters and their personalities, and you really get invested in each one. And also you get to see them in most of the movie took place in one location, which is the manor. And I gotta say, I love the manor, the way that was built. It really gave this terrifying atmosphere. It's already showing that, it's already saying the tone of the movie, because the manor looks exactly like how you'd imagine a horror movie location to be, especially when they go in the basement. Also, I gotta say, this is probably my favorite production design of the year. Yeah, so far this will be my Frozen Awards 2025 winner for best production design. The one and plus the one location setting for 95% of the film really enhanced the fun as well. But if all that isn't good enough, like all that stuff with the slow build up, the great characterization, and Abigail herself, what really what made this film even better than it already was, what made me love this film even more than I did in the first two acts, are the twist. Holy shit, the twist in this movie were insane and bonkers in a good way. Yeah, there were 3 twists that scattered throughout the film. Like, one of them is just a small twist, but there are 2 big twists that made me go, holy shit. But especially the twist at the third act. And the third act, well, usually when it comes to movies with big twists, I would actually talk about it, but give a spoiler warning. But for this video, I'll probably not spoil it. I won't talk about spoilers. So this is a completely spoiler-free review. But let's just say this. Now, let's just say this. The third act of this movie, it took the movie in a completely different direction that I was not expecting. The third act really subverted my expectations. And the way that they did it really made me happy. It really made me happy that this was the direction they took with specifically, I won't say who, but specifically Joey and I won't say who though, and this other character who I won't say who as well. But yeah, when you watch it, you'll see. There are critics who would complain about the third act, saying that the third act made the movie worse, made the movie not as good as it should have been, and all that stuff. They say the third act. A lot of people say the third act sucks. Well, I gotta say, don't listen to people who criticize the third act, because the third act, it really put me on the edge of my seat. And oh my god, that final battle between Joey and the vampire. Joey and you know who. Joey is such a badass. Actually, I will admit, Sammy was my favorite character in the film for 2/3 of the film. I put Sammy. I was thinking, okay, Sammy's my favorite character. It's mainly because of that one final battle that made Joey my favorite character in the film. And I forgot to mention about Joey. I love how she has a very simple arc. She just wants to get home to see her son. She was actually forced into this. She only did this to provide for her son. She didn't want to be seen as a criminal. And I love this whole plot of her just showing her love for her son. Even though we don't get to see Joey's son at all, I love how we get to see how good of a mother she is. I think Joey's already one of the best movie mothers ever. Just by her, her arc of just really wanting to see her go back to see her son, and she gets to express her love for her son in this film. And man, I can't stop thinking about that final battle. So overall, Abigail is nothing short of a masterpiece. I think this is genuinely one of the best horror movies I have ever seen, period. I already said everything. I already said, all my praises to it. It's my second favorite movie of the year so far, and all that stuff. Yeah, one of the best horror movies. Yeah, I guarantee you, this will be a classic. Yeah, this will be an absolute classic for years to come. Yeah, because this movie is already a classic when it comes to the vampire genre. So yeah, so with that said, I'm going to give Abigail 5 stars out of 5. Perfect movie. Please go see this movie. You won't be disappointed. So also for my review of Abigail, what are your thoughts on the movie? Would you agree with me that this movie is a masterpiece and one of the best movies of the year so far, or are you not? Or is this movie not your cup of tea? And if you haven't seen the film yet, did my review interest you to go see the film? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos to come. Bye, guys.